Alright, what we have here today is a Sheridan air rifle. This is an older one with the hold down safety here instead of the rocker safety. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the cam cover off and take the bolt lug out of here. And a couple reasons you might want to do that. One is if you're rebuilding your rifle, like we're rebuilding this one, you need to get the bolt lug out to get the bolt out. You also might just want to clean it from time to time, adjust the bolt would be another reason. And this one doesn't have an O-ring on it right here, but some of the Sheridans do, and so there's no O-ring on this one, but from time to time you might want to change the seal here. So in order to do that you have to pull the bolt, you have to pull the bolt lug. We have two tools here. This is one that I made, and it's got a 1/8 inch hex head screw on the end of it. And all I did was I took an old punch that had a bent end on it and cut that off, drilled a hole in the end, and put this in here with Loctite. And I had to clean up the end here so that it'll fit in the hole there. But that's what that is. I got this other one I've used for a long time, but I wanted something a little more elegant, I guess you'd say. But all this one is just go down to the hardware store and buy this one. It's just a screw with again, it's a 1/8 inch hex head, and it's just a jam nut. And a wing nut. And that's all there is to it. So what you would do is tighten these two together. And so it kind of forms a wrench is what it does. And then you can use this to take out the bolt lug. So let's get to it. There's two screws here that hold the cam plate on. This is the cam cover, and it just comes right out. And then the underneath it here is the cam adjustment plate. So you've got that goes on the top. And there's our lug right there. You can see it's got a hex head. Some of the other ones you might find that have a slot in them. A lot of the Benjamins had slots, but this is a hex head. So you need to have something that'll fit down into that hole there, and also with a 1/8 inch hex head on it. So that's all there is to it, really. Unscrew it. It comes right out. So that's how you use the tool, and then at that point you can take the bolt out. You have to be careful because there is a spring in there. It's loaded, and there it is. And the spring pops out right there. So that's what you've got. The bolt itself, you can see when it goes in, it's in this orientation. The big hole here in the front is where the lug goes, and it goes all the way through this hole to the other side, and it's threaded. And then the spring would go in this other hole here, the rearward hole, and it does not go all the way through. And my experience with Sheridans is that they didn't come with a little ball bearing on there, and that the Benjamins did. And all that spring does is just kind of keep it from wobbling around when the bolt goes into the receiver here. Put it back. All you do is put it in, push down on the screw, or the spring rather, and put it back in. That's all there is to it there. Then the lug, of course, goes back in here, And the thing about the lug is it has to go in far enough so that you can get the cam plate on it. But you're also interested in, yeah, it's hanging up there, so we need to go a little further. You're also interested in how it's oriented with the cam plate. I'll show you that here in a second. There it is. So the cam plate goes back in like so, and you can see the cam plate, this is upside down of course, but you can see that the cam plate is angled. I can show you that. It's got an angle here, and what that does is when you close the bolt, it pushes the lug forward so that when you close the lug, pushes the bolt in and seals the breach there. So what you want to do is have the sides of the lug match up with the angle on the cam here. And right now they don't match up. So we're going to adjust it and screw it in just a little more. And that ought to about do it. That gets it pretty close. Just a hair more even. Okay, that should be good. And what you want to do is close the bolt as far as it'll go, push the cam plate up as far as it'll go, and when you close the bolt you want to feel just a slight amount of tension on it, so you know that you're pushing forward. And just put the screws back on and you're done.